Nearly 60% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. That means most of us are one missed payday away from financial stress, worry, and even crisis. This isn't just bad luck, it's survival mode. Think about it. You wake up, pay the rent, pay the utilities, pay the credit card bills, and then repeat. It's like it never ends. The cycle just keeps repeating month after month. Is that really living, or are you just surviving? It's a tough question, but one we need to ask ourselves. See, survival mode is a trap. It keeps you on this treadmill of paying bills with barely anything left over, leaving no room to actually build a future. Every month you're hustling just to stay in place, barely saving, barely investing, and most likely living paycheck to paycheck. That's not how you want to live, right? If your whole financial life revolves around paying bills and just barely getting by, then guess what? You're not really moving forward. You're stuck in survival mode, and it's a place many people find themselves in without even realizing it. Now, I'm not here to tell you to just be grateful for the basics. No, that's not my style. We deserve more than just the basics. I'm here to help you ditch that survival mode mentality and step into a wealth-building one. It's time to change the game. Because here's the deal. When you're stuck in survival mode, you're not thriving, you're just existing. And that's not enough. Every month you're working your tail off just to stay afloat, and it feels like there's no end in sight. So in this video, I'm diving deep into the 10 reasons why survival mode is a one-way ticket to financial struggle, and more importantly, how you can break free and start building the financial future you deserve. Let's get started. Alright, number 1, when you're in survival mode, saving for the future feels like trying to buy a Tesla on a McDonald's salary. It just seems impossible, right? You're so focused on making ends meet today that you can't even fathom putting money aside for tomorrow. But here's the thing. Without savings, you're one unexpected expense away from complete financial disaster. Imagine your car breaks down, or your laptop dies, or you have a sudden medical bill. Without savings, those situations can send you spiraling into debt. Without saving, you're leaving yourself unprepared for any kind of financial emergency down the road. It's like constantly trying to fill a bucket with a big hole in it. No matter how much you put in, it just keeps draining. So, if you want to break out of survival mode, you need to start thinking about your future self and setting money aside, even if it's a small amount. Next up, when you're stuck in survival mode, building wealth is out of the question. Think about it. Wealth isn't just about having cash, it's about having assets. Things like investments, real estate, or even a business that grows over time. But if you're barely covering your bills, there's no money left to invest in anything that builds wealth. Wealth building requires investment, and if you're constantly scraping by, investing feels like an impossible dream. You're stuck in this vicious cycle of just getting by, with no room to even think about making your money work for you. But imagine this. What if your money could work as hard as you do? That's the power of investing. It allows your money to grow over time, building wealth passively, even while you sleep. And let's be real, without investments or assets, you're always going to be relying on your paycheck. Wealth gives you freedom, options, and a sense of security that just isn't possible when you're only focused on surviving. Number 3 on the list is a big one. Living paycheck to paycheck is one of the hardest parts of survival mode. When you're just waiting for that next paycheck to hit, every bill and every expense feels like a stress bomb. You're constantly in a state of, can I make it to the end of the month? One unexpected expense, one job loss, one medical emergency, and you're in free fall. When you're stuck in this cycle, every dollar feels spoken for before you even earn it. This constant financial pressure can seep into every aspect of your life, impacting your relationships, your mental health, and your overall well-being. That kind of pressure makes it impossible to feel secure, and it keeps you trapped in the survival cycle. Moving on to number 4, survival mode limits your chances for growth. When you're focused on just getting by, you're not looking for ways to improve your skills, network, or take risks that could lead to better opportunities. Let me tell you something. Opportunities don't wait for anyone. When you're stuck in survival mode, you're so focused on putting out financial fires that you miss out on chances to grow and expand your horizons. Think about it. Maybe there's a conference you can't afford to attend that could boost your career, or an investment opportunity that feels out of reach, or even just the chance to network and build relationships that could lead to something bigger. These are all opportunities that pass you by when you're constantly worried about making ends meet. Growth takes time, effort, and sometimes money, but in survival mode, there's no space for that. You're just getting through today, which means you're missing out on what could take you to a better tomorrow. All right, number 5. Survival mode equals constant financial stress. When you're always worried about money, it's hard to focus on anything else. Constantly worrying about money takes a toll on your mental and physical health. It's like carrying around a constant weight on your shoulders, dragging you down and stealing your joy. Financial stress is a silent killer, slowly chipping away at your well-being and preventing you from living your best life. Think about it. When you're stressed about money, you're more likely to experience anxiety, depression, insomnia, headaches, digestive issues. The list goes on. And it's not just your physical health that suffers, your relationships can also take a hit. It's like carrying around a heavy weight every day, and the longer you carry it, the harder it becomes to break free. Next up, survival mode means you're missing out on opportunities. Let's say a great investment comes along, or maybe you have a chance to start a side hustle, but because you're in survival mode, you don't have the cash to jump on it. When you're stuck in survival mode, you're often so caught up in the day-to-day grind that you miss out on those golden opportunities that could change your life. When you're only focused on the short term, you're blind to the possibilities that could make your financial future brighter. It's like having a closed door right in front of you, but you don't have the key to open it. Number 7, no emergency fund. An emergency fund is like a safety net. It's there to catch you if something unexpected happens. An emergency fund isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Life throws curveballs, it's just a fact of life. Your car could break down, you could lose your job, your dog could eat something he shouldn't have, and rack up a hefty vet bill. When you're in survival mode, an emergency fund is usually the last thing on your mind. So, when an emergency hits, guess what? You're forced to take on debt or cut back on essentials, which only pushes you further into survival mode. Moving on, debt becomes a major issue in survival mode. When you're just getting by, it's easy to fall into the trap of relying on credit cards or loans to cover expenses. But that debt grows, and so do the interest payments. Before you know it, you're paying more in interest than on the actual loan. When you're in survival mode, debt can feel like an inescapable black hole sucking you in deeper and deeper. Credit cards and loans become your temporary lifelines, helping you make ends meet. Debt is like quicksand. It keeps you stuck in survival mode and makes it harder to move forward. To get out of this, you need to start tackling your debt bit by bit, even if it's slow. Alright, almost there. Number 9. In survival mode, financial freedom isn't even on the radar. It feels like a distant fantasy reserved for those lucky few who were born into wealth or won the lottery. It even seems like an unattainable dream when you're constantly worried about making ends meet, paying off debts, or just getting through the month. But here's the truth. Financial freedom is attainable for anyone willing to put in the work and make smart choices. It's not just for the elite or the extraordinarily lucky. It's for anyone who is ready to take control of their financial destiny. It's about having the power to make choices about your life without being constrained by money. Imagine being able to decide your next move without the constant pressure of financial limitations. Financial freedom isn't just for the wealthy. It's a goal everyone should aim for, but you can't reach it if you're stuck in survival mode. And last but not least, number 10, you're not building long-term security. When you're always in survival mode, long-term security, things like retirement savings, investments, and even home ownership, feels out of reach. Without that security, you'll always be on shaky ground, vulnerable to any financial shock. You're so focused on making it through today that tomorrow feels like a lifetime away. The daily grind consumes all your energy and attention, but here's the thing. Time flies, and before you know it, tomorrow will be today. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. If you're not actively planning for your financial future, you're essentially leaving it up to chance. It's like gambling with your future. Long-term financial security is about having peace of mind, knowing that you've taken steps to secure your financial well-being, no matter what life throws your way. It's about resilience and preparedness. Start planning for the long term, even in small ways. This is about making sure you have something to fall back on, something that can grow and sustain you down the road. Guys, breaking free from survival mode is like ditching a pair of shoes that are way too small. It's tough at first, but once you do, it's like a breath of fresh air for your finances. Start small, make a plan, and take control of your money. Don't let it control you. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, share it with a friend who needs to hear this, and drop a comment below. What's your biggest takeaway? And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos about building a better financial future. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.